All right, don't worry about the Biggie going, oh, not Biggie, P. Diddy. P. Diddy, singing about Biggie. All right, so I got these lined up. This is my AFR, this is my boost, this is my, I believe, oil pressure, yup, and then this one's the temp, water temp. I got the coils here. They're like double zip tied down. I know I have OCD and this doesn't look the cleanest. I just don't want to clip all these down because the plan is that the KA car is going to be turbo next year and this is going to be digital dash. So that is why I don't want to cut it down because I know where the gauges will be in the KA car, and if I cut it down then I'm going to have problems, blah, blah. So I know the floor in here is messy because I was just working on stuff. Hard to tell, but I have all these loomed up and nice and clean, and the panel is on. So with everything like that being proper, I'm just going to plug the gauges in, make sure all those are correct, and the last stuff for wiring will be headlights and window switches. So we are getting super close, guys. All right, making sure that all the gauges and stuff are working. So let's see if we can get you guys positioned here. All right, 2 minutes later, you're positioned. Hear this thing fire up. Looks like AFR is working, boost gauge is working, oil pressure working, and water temp working. So it looks like everything's working. I'm just shutting the car off right away. Reason being is I don't have any of the cooling system bladder in yet. So obviously we don't want anything to get all crazy and hot or anything, because that wouldn't be good. But all this current wiring works, which is great. One thing I need to switch is whenever my wiring comes on or my ignition is on, I have the brake lights currently wired to that. So I don't want those coming on. I want it so that whenever I touch the brakes, they light up. So I need to switch that and put that on the same trigger as my headlights. That way my headlights come on, the brake lights come on, and get some window switches wired up. All right, got our list here, narrowing things off. So mount rear end, we did that. I gotta go pick up my axle stubs from my buddy Peachy. Drive shaft done. Shaved the stub sensor mounting spots on the diff. Did that. Rear sway bar, I actually need to shorten that. Diff fluid, I need to buy that. Kind of the one and the same here. Gauges are wired. One of the fans wired. I still got the other one. I still gotta do the headlights. Build deck lid and firewall, those are two things. Front wheel spacers, I need to order those. I need to order some 30 amp and 40 amp. 30 amp and 40 amp fuses. Okay, so we're getting there. Body work we're gonna worry about next weekend. Or I should say this weekend, just getting it all sanded down and all that stuff to get it put on the car. So bodywork, fitting everything and painting it. We're painting it next weekend. This week I have to bleed the coolant, find out what the coolant leak is. I got a piece of intercooler piping that I want to have fixed. I need to wire the fans, wire the headlights, get the sway bar and the diff fluid in the rear. I need to get that stuff and we'll be rocking and rolling. So this lunch break is over. Thanks for following along as always. We are getting, I know I keep saying this, it's like the person that you walk up to them, you say, well, how's work? Or how you doing? And they say, living the dream. And in your head, you're saying, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, living the dream. So I know I keep saying this, that we're getting really close, but we are so close I can taste it. The car fires, the car runs, gotta bleed the coolant, gotta do that thing, gotta find a small leak wherever it is. Hopefully it's nothing major, gotta wire the headlights. I got a bunch of small things stopping me from being ready, and I'm feeling really good. So keep the drive, keep pushing, find your motivation, get the job done, and get yourself to a point where you can work for yourself. So here we go, guys. Thanks for following the journey here of professional grassroots driver, and hopefully one day it'll be just that. Thanks for following along.
The next day.
All right, guys, just got done grinding away an entire day at the dealership, and now we are out at the shop plugging away on the JZ car like always. A lot of small things have to be done, as well as some bigger things like fitting the entire kit and getting it painted. Some of the small things that have to be done is I'm still waiting for my stubs to get back so I can run the 350Z stubs with the 350Z rear end and the 350Z axles in my car. I need to do an oil change. I need to flush out all my power steering stuff and put new in there. I need to get diff fluid in the rear end. I need to bleed the entire coolant system and figure out where a small leak is coming from. And a whole bunch of other stuff. I got to put my entire interior back together. I got to build the firewall. I have to finish the deck lid. So there's a lot of things that need to get done that you just don't notice. And again, this all comes down to budget and everything else. You know, not a pro driver, not fully sponsored, none of that stuff. So all this stuff comes out of pocket. So I know it's the struggles that everybody goes through, struggles that you guys go through as well. As the build gets higher, the budget goes higher as well, and you spend more and more money. Hence, the KA car, fun seat time car. So we are going to start plugging away and getting things done. And let's see how far we get tonight. Looks like it's coming from like here. Getting the old cooling system bled and the power steering. This is fun times, baby.
The next day.
All right, so this will be blending into what was last night for me. It's now the next day, lunch break. In this video right now, you're gonna see, you just got done seeing like an ultimate high, like full excitement, cars running, we're bleeding the coolant, everything's going great and awesome, to essentially an all-time low. Not an all-time low like this is the most depressed I've ever been or anything like that, just stress-wise. My radiator's leaking, which sucks. It's not good. It's leaking from the upper corner. We're about 3-ish weeks out. It's leaking from the upper corner. I have a backup radiator that's a dual pass as well, and for whatever reason, I feel like I'm losing my mind. It's leaking from the exact same spot. So I have a radiator that's leaking that is just causing a lot of stress at the moment. So you just saw the car running with me being pumped, saying this is super exciting, to this. The whole front half of this is torn off and apart. Yeah, so the radiator is leaking. We got to figure something out. I don't know what we're going to do for a solution for that, but this is essentially going to finish off the video that you were just looking at. We need to come up with some solutions. You guys will obviously see what happens as the solutions come to fruition, but you know, this is all part of me talking about professional grassroots driver. Just because I'm not a pro, I still have an event I'm trying to make. I still have things I have to get done. I still have things that need to happen for it to be ready. So again, the stress is at an all-time high, but we're here, we're doing what we can, and we got to get the job done. So thanks as always for following along and watching, and I'll let you know what transpires. Thanks, guys.